Hi, YouTube. Michelle Fernandez, your national real estate resource. So, I am licensed in the state of Colorado, working on my licensing in the state of California. I am here as a resource if you have any questions, whether you're a client, a past client, future client, or a newer agent that is looking to get in real estate. Perhaps you are already in real estate and you just have some questions. You follow my channel and you feel safe with me and very comfortable, and you want to ask a question. That's what I'm here for. So I thought I would do this video. The 3 things that new agents should do when submitting an offer. These are some of the things that I wish I would have known prior to actually submitting the offer. I've kind of learned this process over time. So we're just going to kind of dive right into it, and starting with point number 1. You want to have an actual verbal conversation over the telephone. I see a lot of agents that communicate primarily through text message and email. I always, that's the worst thing that you can do on behalf of your buyer client, is to communicate through text message. You want to jump on and have an actual conversation. You're going to really get to know the other agent. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to get a feel for the listing agent, their personality, and you're going to kind of, this is really truly your time to investigate, right? And it's also going to depend on the local market that you're in. So let's just say if this strategy may not work best for somebody who's in a current extreme seller's market versus somebody who is kind of tipping toward a buyer's market. So you're going to kind of adjust your strategy. But in an extreme seller's market, I've kind of learned this strategy works best for me. I jump on the phone with the listing agent, introduce myself. I'm extremely friendly, and I'm kind of gaining their trust, and I'm asking questions such as, are you at liberty to disclose why your client is selling the home? Can you tell me more? And at this point, I'm really just an investigator. I'm finding out as much data as possible. You would be completely surprised at how much information some listing agents do decide to share, which if I was a client, I would advise strongly against sharing certain information. So if you're watching this and you're selling your house, make sure you know what the listing agent is sharing, because as a buyer's agent during this process, I'm going to take pieces of this conversation and I'm going to use it when it's time to negotiate. So I'm going to leverage the situation. That's just kind of part of the strategy for myself and for many other agents. So number 1, jump on the phone, have an actual conversation, introduce yourself, find out as much information as to why that specific seller is selling that property. If it sounds like, they don't have a whole lot of offers on the table, if that listing agent does actually disclose that, then you're not in much of a competition. You still want to get your offer submitted in a timely manner and just kind of find out what's important to the seller. And if there's other offers on the table, obviously, then you're going to switch up your strategy. And if that were the case, I would be finding out what is most appeasing to your client, what would make our offer stand above others other than price. Price is always the number 1 driving factor. Not always, but primarily most sellers sell because they want to make as much money as possible to invest into their next property, or perhaps they're moving out of state. You just don't know what their situation is, and every client is different, or every customer is different. Okay, so number 2, before you actually submit an offer, I would highly suggest pulling your comps. So every market is going to be different, every neighborhood, every city, every county. It's not going to be the same stats. So before I submit any offer, I'm actually pulling the comps. And in this sort of market environment, we're going to use Denver, Colorado as just kind of a reference. It's in the past, several years, it's been extremely, extremely competitive. It's been an extreme seller's market. So I'm going to, not only am I going to pull the local comps for that specific neighborhood, and I'm going to also reach out to, in addition to reaching out to the listing agent, I may also reach out to other recently closed properties and talk to those listing agents, contact the buyer's agent, find out what their experience was, how much over did they have to go, what's happening in those neighborhoods. Perhaps there's another agent that has higher sales in that specific neighborhood farm. So I'm going to try to get those people on the phone so that I can be as competitive or as knowledgeable as possible. So just kind of use your resources. You kind of, you really have to become an investigator. So pull your comps, reach out to other agents, get outside input for that specific neighborhood. And then something that I was pretty astonished to learn, that there's some agents out there that are not pulling O&Es on the property before their client is going through the inspection process. So as soon as once I submit an offer, I'm pulling an O&E. I'm finding out what potential liens are attached to that property, because I have learned this by error and omission, and I learned this the hard way. We can talk about that at a later time, but you want to find out if there's any attachments to the property, any encumbrances that could prevent or prolong the sale. And so I usually do that immediately, so before any sort of inspection, because if once my client goes through the process of inspection and they're paying their out-of-pocket cost for sewer scopes, the inspections, whatever testing they're deciding to move forward with, if I can if I can kind of eliminate any potential risk, that's basically what your job is, right? You're performing full due diligence, and pulling that O&E as a buyer's agent is equally as vital as pulling it if you were the seller agent, the listing agent. So if you're not familiar with how that works, you basically will contact a title company. Hopefully you have a title rep that you have a really good relationship with, and you can just send them an email, ask for an O&E, give them the property address. Typically they're going to charge $5. And if you have a good title company, you'll have it within the first 24 hours. I typically go through Heritage Title for my O&Es, and they have it to me like within 2 hours. And so it's a $5 fee, and I'm able to find out everything that's attached to the property, make sure that it's the legal owner that is on the property, and there's just a various number of reasons, but make sure that you're pulling that O&E. You don't want to get yourself in a situation or put your client in a situation where they're going to lose money when it could have been prevented on the front end. So I hope those tips help you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Again, Michelle Fernandez, helping my friends and family in Colorado. And also, if you are looking to move outside of Colorado, I am able to help you by providing national resources. And feel free to send me a message if there's a topic that you would like me to discuss. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Bye.